Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to It's That One podcast, episode one of the weekly Small Business Mondays. This is a spin off of my normal podcast, which we did last week. So this week we are going to be doing Small Business Mondays. I wanted to showcase young business owners and entrepreneurs and use this for a platform for not only myself to grow, but for those businesses, individuals to tell a story. I'm really excited for this mini series and where we're going to go from here. If you listen to this podcast and it sounds like something you would be interested in doing, please feel free to reach out to me. As always, I'd like to thank my sponsors at Hot Smoke Barbecue on Instagram, Maker's Mark Ambassador Program, and Mary Jane's CBD Dispensary. As you guys can see, I have with me today Savana of Ivy and Grace Brow Boutique. Thank you very much for being episode one of this series. I'm super excited to have you here and really figure out what Ivy and Grace is all about. So if you could just introduce yourself and let me know and let everyone listening know what Ivy and Grace is about and what you guys do there.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Ivy and Grace is a day spa and a brow boutique. We are based in Danville and Lexington, Kentucky. So we offer semi-permanent brow services. We offer permanent brow services, so like microblading, um, fine line tattoos, uh, facials, pretty much everything. So it's great for, to come here and do self-care and whatnot. So.
Awesome. All right, so I guess really what is the first question is what made you decide to start your own business?
So I really decided to open up my own business because I was tired of building someone else's success and working under people who didn't share the same values as I did. Um, I know we kind of touched base during our last podcast on like leadership versus management. So basically, I felt like I was being held back from my full potential. And I decided to just go for it. I started doing like my own marketing and training and scheduling and all that cool stuff. And I don't know, when COVID hit, I was out of work. And I mean, the unemployment office basically didn't give any kind of unemployment to independent contractors. So I just had every penny and I just invested it into my business. So that's kind of how Ivy and Grace came about.
Okay. So just kind of like the lack of basically people like supporting you and really what you believed in and kind of wasn't really on the path what you wanted to go for. It's kind of why
Yeah,
you branched out.
right. So I had a bunch of like marketing ideas and I always wanted to learn more. Um, but it was kind of like I felt like I was just kind of stuck in a position. So I didn't feel like I could truly advance into, what I needed to advance into.
Yeah, you kind of feel like you were probably stuck in like that caterpillar stage and you couldn't really become a butterfly. Yeah, that
Exactly.
just came to my head. That was good, right?
I was like a caterpillar for like 4 years, and I'm like, I'm done being a caterpillar.
Yeah.
I'm ready to grow my wings.
So I'm curious, how did you get like the idea for like Ivy and Grace? Like, where does Ivy and Grace come from?
So everybody always asks me like where I got the Ivy and Grace name. Adeline's middle name is Grace, and I was like, okay, what's a cool plant? Ivy. So there's the name. There's no like sophisticated meaning behind it, but I thought it was real cute. Um, but other than that, I have worked in the cosmetology industry since 2016, and I worked at a day spa. So I did facials and I did eyebrows, and I did a lot of semi-permanent services. I've always wanted to do microblading and ombre powder just because, I mean, I think it's super cool. So I just kind of combined everything together and I was like, this is what I want to offer at Ivy and Grace. So
Yeah, that's a pretty cool. Just I like the name. I actually never really knew where you it came from. I never asked. I just was like, oh, maybe it's just something else. That's cool though. That's
everybody always asks, they're like, what's the meaning behind it?
Yeah.
I'm
So I
like,
mean, there
there's
you know
no
we talked
meaning.
about we talked about before we started this is you can use certain clips from this. There you go. we can make this work and say, hey, you know what? I got a video for this. I don't need to explain it anymore. All right. So what is your like biggest fear and like how do you manage that when it comes to your business?
So my biggest fear is probably the most obvious one, um, but shutting down and not having any more clients. I think that's definitely a huge, a huge worry with like COVID and all this craziness going on. I mean, I've invested every bit of my money into this business, so there's not really much room for failure, like, for failure.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just like what's the word?
I know you say like, obviously, there's no room for failure. You guys have put a lot into it. And I know especially with the new location in Danville. Um, so I guess that's
Yeah,
gonna my next question, and you can keep going on to that question too. But my next question, really is gonna tie into that question. Is like, what motivates you to not go that route? Besides obviously shutting down, but like, what is your motivation so you know that you're not going to have to shut down?
yeah. So like my vision definitely motivates me. Um, and then when I like look at my booking, I see that I'm booked out for quite a bit,
Hmm.
like 2 to 3 months in advance. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I'm good.
Yeah.
So, and then Cody's like my number one fan over here. He's like, you're doing great. I'm like, thanks, babe. So it's just, I mean, I'll get down sometimes, and I just have to look at my books and remind myself that I've helped already. I've already helped a lot of people,
Yeah.
and there's people that are waiting to come in, and the beauty industry is always advancing. So I don't think there's ever going to be a time where the beauty industry is like, you know what, we're done.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever going to be a time where a woman wakes up, or a man and says like, "Well, I want to look poor today. I don't want to
I
look
don't
great. I
care.
don't want to look nice." But
I feel like I don't care anymore.
you said something there, and it was like talking about kind of getting down sometimes, and it's okay. Like it's okay to take a knee as long as you get back up from that knee, and that's what you have to take a knee sometimes. You can't be on go 24/7, and I just relearned that this past couple of weeks because I've been on go, and I was like, shit, man, I'm doing so much stuff, so I've just been on go. But I mean, you said it. You can look at your books and you know that you're 2 or 3 months booked out, ready to rock and roll, and it's gonna stay that way. People want this stuff, and you just keep adding little things like these little fine line tattoos, super
Hmm.
freaking adorable. You
Yeah,
know?
they're super cool. I mean, like not many people, some people don't want shading. And
Yeah.
a lot of the bigger tattoo artists, they want to do shading. They want to do like the full sleeves, and that's their thing. I don't think that I'm taken away from anything. I feel like I'm giving people what they want, who want small, like fine line tattoos, just really small, delicate, and pretty stuff. So
Yeah, and
it
I
worked out.
I saw I saw that and I thought it was such a great idea because I'm pretty inked up and I've been to quite a bit of tattoos, studios and met with a lot of artists and a lot of them don't like to do the little simple things that you're doing.
Mhm.
It takes a lot of work to for them to pull out all their equipment or whatever, and it's gonna at least be in maybe 30 minutes to an hour, but I guess they see it like, okay, well, this little $40 tattoo for a line, but for you though, it's like your clients are different. I guess they're different than going to the average people getting tattoos.
Mhm.
Maybe not always, but I mean, some of them want that cutesy little like maybe a little quote or a little phrase or like a little bird or something that maybe a tattoo artist just doesn't want to do. So I think it's a great idea for you to.
Yeah, and it fits really well in like my blocking times. So I can do an initial brow session and then have like an hour to do a cute little tattoo.
Yeah.
And I enjoy doing it. I feel like it brings out an artistic side of me. So, I
And I
mean,
think it's something that you could even do in the future as like another little piece of marketing. Like if run a July special and say for every eyebrow thing you do, you get a free 1 inch by 1 inch fine line tattoo.
mhm,
Or just it's just every little thing you add to your tool book, you can always it always benefits you. So that's not a bad thing there.
yeah,
Um,
it's pretty cool.
so how do you guys advertise? Speaking about marketing, what are you guys doing right now at Ivy and Grace to advertise?
So I think my biggest thing is word of mouth right now. I mean, I have mothers and daughters coming in. I have like the same circle of friends coming in, and it's definitely word of mouth. That's the biggest thing right now. And then the second two things would be Facebook and Instagram. So I take pictures of everything that I do and I post it. And there's so many different like types of brows to choose from. So whoever goes onto my page, they could be like, "Oh, I like this one," or "I like that one," or I think in this industry, posting my work is the biggest thing because I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah,
people want to see what
that's
you
your
do.
resume. That's your portfolio.
It really is.
I mean, if I can, and it's such a we're in a day and age where social media is so big and the internet is so big that like I'm not gonna come into your store and flip through a book of things. If I can get on Instagram and go to Ivy and Grace Brow Boutique, which you guys can see right here on the link below, um, and look at your work, then I can decide: do I want to make? I could live right next door, but do I want to get out of bed? Yeah, it looks great, like great work. Now I'm gonna come because now I don't have to like, roll the dice. I see the work, it's there. I don't have to make any other choices.
Hmm.
So,
Super easy.
you guys have business cards and stuff like that?
We have business cards, and then Cody thought of a really cool idea is to put QR codes on the back of our business cards and our menus.
Oh, okay.
So we have a QR code on everything, and it directs you to like booking. It directs you to Instagram, our main site, everything. So
Nice. So it's like a QR code with like a link, like a LinkedIn, like link tree.
yeah,
Oh, that's a great idea. I like that.
yep. So it automatically goes to our link tree, and you have like four options to choose from. You want to book in Lexington, Danville. You want to see our Instagram, our work.
Okay.
You want to buy a gift card.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's just
awesome.
it reads it out,
People
and it's
love
like
QR codes.
right. It's like who doesn't have a phone that can pull it up either. So all you got to do is scan it, and
Yeah.
it's
Well,
super easy.
the pandemic really made that happen too. You see it a lot at like restaurants. Even now that it's like slowed down a lot, they still have like the hey, scan this on the table because we don't want to give you a menu. So
Right.
people are used to it. So it's a great time for that because people are so used to doing it. They're like, well, let me just do this.
Yeah. It's
So
pretty
that's
cool.
great. So if you had unlimited resources right now, if you had a unlimited financial, really honestly, money makes everything go around, especially in the business world and being a small business owner. So basically, if you had the unlimited resources, what would be your move be as far as Ivy and Grace?
Well, my mind automatically goes to like capital. And if I had, enough money for investing into other facilities to turn into Ivy and Graces and kind of like branding it out, I think that'd be super cool. And then second thing would be having a team that, you know, is motivated and shares the same values for the Ivy and Grace for Ivy and Grace. I think that would be the two main things that I would choose if I had unlimited resources.
So
Is
you're really wanting to grow. I mean, so I'm in Savannah, Georgia. You guys know that. If it got to the point where you were big enough, would you be willing to like come to bigger other places too? Like a spot here, a spot maybe like in Dallas, and are you trying to get to that level, like a
I
nationwide
think it'd be
level?
really cool if I could get there.
Yeah, because I mean, I know we talked about it on the last stream, and I'll say it again. I think this is something that you guys can keep putting this into, and you guys will be $1 million company. Like
Mhm.
there's probably 1,000 of these little boutiques here in Savannah. I don't fucking know. I don't get my eyebrows done, but I think what you guys do would just fit in here. This is Savannah's a very small business driven city, and I just think like what you do and like being like a little boutique would just fit so well in here. And I just imagine like driving down in Savannah one day and seeing Ivy and Grace Brow Boutique, or just being in like I don't know. It just makes me think it should be in like places like Asheville and Savannah and Gatlinburg, just like little places everywhere, you know. Um, so that's cool. Yeah, unlimited resource. What do you want out of this experience? Like for you, like on a personal level, obviously financially, we all know that you want to make money for your family to be happy. But what do you want like personally out of this experience?
I mean, I want to build relationships with people that I meet. I want to establish good friendship, healthy friendship, and just grow with people, honestly. Um, I mean, obviously, I want to have a good foundation for my children. That's definitely a huge thing. But aside from that, I just want to, meet really good people.
Yeah, and just leave that positive influence on them, and that know that they had like that good service.
Right. I mean, it's really cool to be able to help people. There's a lot of people that come in to get their brows done, and they went through chemo, and I mean, it's such a heartfelt, like, session. I mean, you just learn so much about people, and it's I don't know, it's what I love to do. So
Yeah, that's awesome. And just just for anywhere I go, if someone's like really just a genuine person, that really makes me keep going back to that business as well. And that's
mhm.
why I wanted to do this podcast with you, and just in general make this podcast, is because I really enjoy like small business. Like that's why I'm going to school for, is to help people like you grow,
Mhm.
because you guys are passionate about this. Like the people at Walmart, they were passionate about it probably when Walmart first started, but now they're a billion
Right.
dollar industry. Jeff Bezos was passionate about Amazon when he was selling used books out of his garage. But I want to talk to you guys now, before you're the Jeff Bezos, before you're the Walmart dude. I don't even know his name. Wally Wahlberg. I don't know his name. Sam Walton or something like that. Um, before this, I want to talk to you before Steve Jobs is Mr. Apple. I want to talk to these businesses because you guys, this is for one, it's marketing. You guys are just as passionate about what you do as what I'm passionate about what I do, and I think that just makes for a great conversation. Um, I have one more question for you. Before I do that, is there anything that you would like to say, talk about that maybe we didn't hit? Just kind of want to give you. I just want to give you the floor, and maybe just if you have anything that you'd like to talk about. If not, I can ask you this last question, and we can wrap up.
I don't think so.
No, I know that you were really
No, I don't
excited for this and you prepared, so
think so.
I want you to make the best. I want this experience for you to be the best experience, and you to get everything out that you want to talk about your business. So actually, you know what? We'll do this before I ask you my last closing question. Where can we find you? Um, where are you located? And like when I say where can I find you as far as social media, what are your tags? Where are you located? And just anything else you might want to, just a little quick business pitch.
Okay, so we're located Lexington, Kentucky, and Danville, Kentucky. And then as for social media, we are on Facebook at Ivy and Grace Brow Boutique. Um, and then Instagram is Ivy Grace Brow Boutique. So we have an Instagram and a Facebook. We don't have Twitter.
Okay,
We're not that
awesome,
cool.
awesome. Everybody watching this video too, if you guys watch the replay of this video, you can see the Instagram tag right here, Ivy Grace Brow Boutique. And then I have Lexington, Kentucky, and Danville, Kentucky. You guys can see that as well. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Savannah, and I will be happy to point you in any direction that you need to be in. So we're gonna wrap this up with, if you have one piece of advice, someone just starting out as a business owner, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, don't sell yourself short. Charge your worth. It'll attract the right clientele. Invest into your education in order to perfect your craft. And then the most important one is to stop making excuses. Um, if you really sit down and budget and learn about all the resources that you have, you can utilize them to the best of the abilities that you can. Um, I mean, I came to Kentucky with absolutely nothing, and I stopped making excuses. And within a year, I've already got my storefront and the other location. So you just can't make excuses.
I fucking like it. You guys listen to that? No more excuses. Well, Savannah, I am very excited that you were my first guest on this little series that we're going to be doing. Thank you so much for doing this. Cody, thank you so much for kind of helping me out with everything. I am going to get this edited, and by the time you guys are listening to it, it's obviously already been edited. So that didn't even make sense. But here we are. Thank you guys for checking this out. It's that one podcast. Small Business Mondays, episode 1, Ivy and Grace Brow Boutique. hit them up. Even if you have to travel a little bit, I promise you it's worth it